university presidents are facing this right now with the student protests. They're complex issues, and I'm balancing a number of issues that have long tail implications. Things like, where do we invest our money? That's not a simple issue when we have endowments.
It's an important issue that you're bringing out. Frameworks don't have a set of values that all have the exact same weight and importance. There is an importance that is implied in a framework, right? In the sense that the highest order thing might be, in the case that you're talking about, student safety, right? And I'm not suggesting that would be the right one. I'm just using it to illustrate the point. You might say, above all else, we keep our students safe. And any other value that we have is subordinate to that in a moment where student lives are at risk or where student perceived safety is at risk, because it might not just be actual risk, it might be perceived risk. Then you might say, free speech or an open forum is another value that we espouse, but we don't put free speech above safety, right? So when we have a decision to make that balances those two, safety wins. And to your point, if you're not talking about that all the time, if you're not modeling that all the time, and you find yourself in one of these complex situations where you're having to balance two values against each other, you're now in a very difficult situation and nobody knows what to expect of you. And so you're now in a much, much tougher spot than you otherwise would have been. And, that doesn't just apply to university presidents. That applies to U.S. presidents or presidents of any country. And quite frankly, leaders of organizations. I remember being at Ford Motor Company during 9/11, and we had to think about what's the right course of action with respect to balancing the various interests of our employees. At that point, initially, the first few days, we didn't know if this was a global thing or if this was just a U.S. thing, and you're just sorting through, do you have people come to work when we don't even know if there's more attacks? So it was really important to have that absolute clarity, not only of what's important, but the order, how you're going to prioritize.